What's up? My name is Darryl Williams and welcome back to another episode of Real Estate 101. Now today we're going to cover attorneys and more specifically attorney states. What does that mean? Real estate attorney, what is that? Is it your cousin who has a law degree and you're trying to buy a house and they can help you out? We're going to find out more. Stay tuned. All right, so welcome back. So today we're going to dive into something called attorney states. And this is very important to know, especially as a buyer going in to buy a property for the first time, because it's very crucial that you get all the steps right. Now, attorney states, simply put, are states that require you to have a real estate attorney present during the purchase of real property. Now, in our last video, we went over what real property was, so you can check that out if this is the first time coming to this channel to watch this video. Also, please don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more educational videos like this. Now, about half the states here in the US are attorney states. New York City, where I work as a real estate agent, requires you to have a real estate attorney present. And this is very important to know because a lot of buyers don't know that you need a real estate attorney. They're usually surprised when they find out that, oh, I didn't know I need a real estate attorney, because some states, I believe Texas is one of those states where you don't need a real estate attorney present when purchasing a property. Now, what is a real estate attorney? What is their function? What do they do? Let's get into that as well. So a real estate attorney does a lot actually for you, from drafting the contract of sale, which is a document stating that seller is going to sell this property to purchaser. They agree to the terms. They might negotiate some legal language, but the attorney is representing you in your best interest, your benefit, to protect your deposit in case something goes awry and you can't go through the purchase. You can at least get your deposit back. So they're there to represent you. They have your best interests. I know some people are wary about attorneys in general, but real estate attorneys working in your best interest as the buyer. So drafting the contract of sale is one duty of the real estate attorney. Next, if you live in New York City and you're purchasing a co-op or a condo specifically, attorneys do what they're called due diligence. And obviously that's still done with single family homes and multifamily homes as well. I'm predicating especially condos and co-ops because that's what I dabble in most. And that includes reviewing the building's financials, checking if they have any issues in the building, any assessments coming up. I just had a deal recently that was done, and during the due diligence process, an assessment that the buyer didn't know about came up and the seller did not disclose this information. It was a big thing, but we worked it out and got the deal done still. But that is the reason why to have a real estate attorney. So when things come up like this, it can be worked out and attorneys can figure that out and you as the buyer will be protected. Another reason to have a real estate attorney is for title insurance, title search. They're the ones who take care of all of that as well. In some states, they just have a closing company who takes care and does all of that. In an attorney state like New York City, your real estate attorney is the one that is handling all of that work for you on your behalf. For some reason, let's say we're in contract and the deal is falling apart, but the seller wants to keep your deposit as a buyer, your real estate attorney will, on your behalf, work and fight to get your deposit back. I've had that happen to me a year ago in a deal, and the attorney was able to get the deposit back for my buyer. That is another reason why in an attorney state, you should have a real estate attorney and not represent yourself because, well, you can't, because you need a real estate attorney because it's required by law. So that is the function of some of the functions of a real estate attorney. There are a little more nuances that I'm not going to dive into this video, but those are the basics and what you need to know to feel confident going to a real estate transaction. So a few other reasons why you might need a real estate attorney is that you're buying bank-owned property. You may be buying a property out of state and need legal representation. The home is currently has tenants and you're probably going to need to evict them after you purchase the property. So you need your real estate attorney in place to set safeguards for you as the buyer. The house is part of someone's estate. I've had deals where the owner has died in the property and my buyer wants to buy it. Since we're not dealing with the buyer because they're deceased, we're dealing with the estate attorney, and it's a lot of legal issues, and the real estate attorney is best equipped to handle that. So that is another reason why you will need and should hire a real estate attorney in a real estate transaction. And then there's a list of other reasons as well, but these are some of the most pertinent ones why you might need a real estate attorney. Lot lines, that's a big thing in New York City. I'm gonna mention this one before we end this video. In New York City, there's lots of lots, lots of lots, that's funny to say. A lot line essentially is like how far a building builds up and stops, and before they cross over to the other building's property or a lot, if you will. In New York City, you wanna make sure that when the due diligence is done, that the building, if it's built on a lot line, that's disclosed, because if you have windows and if they decide to build further or something built there, you would have to brick over those windows and now you lost a room. I showed a property the other day where that situation, there's no building there, but there could be in the future, and you would have to brick over the window and lose a bedroom, and now it has to become like a den or an office. So that's why you need a real estate attorney, because you as a buyer would not know that otherwise. All right, so that is what an attorney state is. A state where you need a real estate attorney. A real estate attorney does draft the contract of sale, does the due diligence, orders titles insurance, does a title search, can help you in disputes of getting your deposit back if for some reason the deal falls through, can inform you whether a building is lot line, whether you need to evict tenants in a property you're purchasing. Any scenario within the real estate transaction, these are some of the reasons why you need a real estate attorney. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.